I'm Louise Fletcher and welcome back to my studio. Last week I showed you a little bit of my current sketchbook process, and I said this week I would show you inside the books and inside what's been happening since then. So let's have a look. So since my last video I've actually done work in 5 books, although most of the work has been in one. These are the different books. This is a little handmade journal that I purchased. The first one was a used book. The second was a sea white sketchbook. Here's another used book. And this is another sea white square sketchbook. As you can see, they get very messy. This one I've showed before. This is a book of collage experiments, and all I've done in here is to work on these two. The one on the right, I added some different paper to change the composition. The one on the left, I was just experimenting with neutrals, really. Nothing very exciting in those two, but that's all that's been done in that book. You'll see I do have torn out pages from the used book I'm using. Sometimes the books get too fat, so I tear some pages out and then I'll use those for collage at a later point, so they won't get wasted. Here's a used book that doesn't have very much in it, but I did work on this in my last video. I've edited this spread by adding some like mint khaki green to the top and a few bits more collage. This one, I'm not fond of either of these pages. They were part of experiments. I'll show you some other ones in the series later. So those will get worked on more. And these pages and these used books are continually being added to. This is a paper collage on the right that I did. And then on the left, I don't know, I just really like it to be blank next to that. And here is one of a series of experiments I'm doing to get movement and emotion into abstract paint. And that is the last thing that's in there. So as you can see, I have all those pages still to work on. This is the used book that's got the most work in it. For some reason, I just really like this book, and it's got so much work in it, I had to put that black tape around the edge. You can see how thick it is there. The black bookbinding tape's just holding it all together, and inside I've taped some of the pages together too. And I'm just going to flick through the pages here and show you. Some of them I like more than others. Some of them are finished, others are not. You know, it's just I'll continue to come back to these and continue to work on this stuff. I like that one. Don't know why, I just really like it. I like the old photo and the stamp and the ledger. It gives a sense of history. I really like this one. This next page is really nothing to me at the moment. It's just interesting always to notice. As artists, we need to always be noticing, what do I like and what do I feel needs more work? On these ones, neither of these feel finished to me. But at the moment, I don't know what else to do. And so there they stay until something occurs to me, and then I will do it. I quite like the right-hand side here, but the left-hand side feels really like nothing again at the moment. So that is something that I need to work on. Here I had a torn page, and I like that as it is. I'm fine with that. And I like the map with the stamp, and I like the piece of abstract painting that I put in there. So those will probably just stay because I like them. This is quite unfinished. This is a photograph of my dad. That's my dad as like a 19-year-old and his friends. And they just all look so young and happy. There's something very moving about it. All those people are gone now. Same for this. I find this very moving because that little girl is long gone. And what was her life like after that? And how did everything turn out? And I like the grunginess of that past page. And so it's always about spotting what you like and also spotting why you like it, which sometimes I can't really tell. I really like on this was experiments I did with wetting paint and then pressing paper down onto it, and I just like the grunginess of that. I like that little collage on the left, very simple, and I'm always trying to bring more simplicity into my work, so it's interesting to see how much I like that. This is very unfinished, but again, I like the grungy ugliness of it, so that's good to notice. Really like these collage. Again, it has a sense of as if it's telling a story, although it actually isn't. But that is I like the intrigue of that. What's that stamp got to do with the little girl and the text and all of that? Is it actually a story? And it feels to me like it is. And so I want to bring more of that into my work, I think. Lots of grunginess here, and there's some stuff I don't like on here because I'd done some drawing and writing over the top of the collage I'd done, and it just all got a bit too much, so I'll edit that page. Here I've stuck in some experiments, but again, I'll probably continue working on top of what I've stuck in. Collage on the left with some gesso on top and some experiments on the right, which are all part of a series of experiments I'm doing about bringing in more emotion and movement into paintings. Not incredibly successfully at the moment, but here's another experiment that I've stuck into the book. It was done on a page from this book, but one of the torn out pages, and now I stick them back in again. And that is as far as I got with this book. And finally, one of my sea white, which I've just started because I started working directly in the book on these experiments of creating movement and energy. And because that's what I'm working on, I'm limiting the colours because I don't need to get confused with colour as well. And I'm just either working in the book or sticking in things that I feel capture some of what I want to capture. But that doesn't mean these are anything I would consider to be finished paintings or beautiful. It just means they're somewhere close to what I'm looking for. So when I said that I work on things that I don't feel are really working, I'll constantly revisit the book and look for a page that I feel like needs some work, and then I'll make some changes to it. Not because it's important to me that I love every page, but because it's important to me to focus on what do I like, what don't I like, and changing what I don't like, because constantly refining what you care about is important in art. So what I don't like here is some of the drawing I did on top of the collage, which has kind of taken some of the nice simplicity away and made it look too complicated. So I'm going to now just speed this up and you'll see how I make edits to this. It's quite a loose and flexible process. As you can see, I constantly revise and follow a new thread, and I'll keep doing that throughout the books. That's what my sketchbooks are for. I'm not interested in beautiful, neat pages. I'm not interested in making incredible illustrative drawings, although those are lovely to look at. It's just not me. These are workspaces for me, and they're sources of inspiration, and they're ways for me to get in touch with myself, which is what artists have to do. It sounds very self-indulgent, but if our art doesn't come from within ourselves, it's not unique and special. And who needs it? It's got to be different from everyone else's. And I think one of the ways that I tap into that is to really follow what I'm interested in sketchbooks. And in sketchbooks, things can be ugly, things can be unfinished, things can be a disaster. It just doesn't matter because it's my book, or they're my books. As you can see, I always have lots on the go at once. If you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit like, please. Leave a comment. That really helps me. But also, you can grab my free artist newsletter in a link below this video. And that newsletter comes out every Sunday, and it's just full of tips, information, videos, podcasts, just stuff for you as an artist. So don't miss out on that. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.